In the small village of Colodai, there lived a woodcarver named Geppetto. One day, he carved a puppet out of a block of wood and named it Pinocchio. But this was no ordinary puppet, for it was imbued with the darkest magic that the world had ever seen. As Pinocchio came to life, Geppetto was filled with a sense of dread that he could not shake. The puppet's once innocent features twisted and contorted into a grotesque and horrifying visage, and its once lifeless wooden eyes now glowed with an unholy light. As Pinocchio wandered the streets of Colodai, the villagers took notice of the puppet's strange and malevolent presence. His once charming voice now dripped with a sinister tone, and his words were filled with promises of power and pleasure beyond their wildest dreams. But those who followed him soon learned the truth of his words. For Pinocchio had become a creature of the night, a twisted and malevolent being that fed on the souls of the innocent. As the villagers grew increasingly afraid, they turned to Geppetto for help. But the woodcarver knew that there was nothing he could do to stop his creation. Pinocchio had taken on a life of his own, one that was fueled by an insatiable hunger for blood and destruction. And so, the villagers of Colodai lived in constant terror of Pinocchio, the puppet that had come to life and brought a reign of darkness and despair upon their once peaceful village. The mere mention of his name sent shivers down their spines, and they knew that they could never be safe as long as Pinocchio roamed the streets. But the worst was yet to come. One moonless night, the villagers woke to the sound of chanting and the stench of decay. They rushed to the village square to find Pinocchio standing in the center, surrounded by a circle of rotting corpses. He turned to face them, his once wooden body now covered in blackened vines and thorns. His eyes glowed with an unholy light, and his smile had become a twisted, gaping maw filled with razor-sharp teeth. And as the villagers watched in horror, Pinocchio let out a guttural laugh that echoed through the night, signaling the beginning of a reign of terror that would never end. For Pinocchio was no longer just a puppet, but a vessel of pure evil, with an insatiable hunger for destruction and chaos. The villagers of Colodai would never be the same again.